In the 55-year history of Marquette men's soccer, they had played in a penalty kick shootout just once. It was in Conference USA in 2002. And to get to this championship game, Jamie, they've needed 2 penalty kick shootouts, a combined 220 minutes of soccer, and 21 rounds of penalty kicks.
7 of which, John, were all pressure because they went second in the shootout at Creighton, at Morrison Stadium. So that tells you a lot about the team. Louis Bennett Fields, he believes that there's a lot of confidence growing amongst the team. As Megan said, as the season has gone along, they've gotten better and better. They've done a very good job of growing with the season. Survive and advance. They're in the final. We're set for a good one today, John.
We are off in the BE football final. Picture perfect skies here at Shaw Field. An absolutely beautiful day as the Hoyas looking to defend their title successfully. You were here a year ago. Xavier getting out to the early lead, but Georgetown so resilient.
Well, Georgetown here at Shaw Field, very good on the year, as they always are. This year, 5-3-2 at home. Early start here for Marquette as they go forward.
This one. Brian Weiss in year 13. And he has taken Georgetown to 11 of the last 12 Big East tournaments, and now looking for 3 of 4 championships. Josh Cohen, Pittsburgh transfer. These 2 teams drew in the regular season. What are you most intrigued by here at the outset?
Well, I think for Marquette, you've already seen Josh Cohen get on the ball a couple of times now. He's going to be instrumental. Connor Alba on this side will be just as important out wide.
Derek Dodson, one of 6 All-Big East first-team selections that you see on this field today.
Tons of class being shown out on the field, on display. A perfect day for a final. You can't ask for much better.
Politis. So we turn to our keys to the game.
Well, I think for Georgetown, the key to the game is relying on their championship experience. For the seniors, this is their 3rd time in 4 years being in a Big East Conference final. They've won the other 2. Look, when you're in this situation time and time again, you start to understand what it takes to win a final. But for Marquette, they cannot give away any cheap turnovers, especially in their own half. Louis Bennett's okay giving possession away in Georgetown's half, but he certainly doesn't want to give them 30, 40 yards ahead of the field on the other side of the midfield line with a cheap turnover that they can then attack through Dotson, through Achara. Zayat's in the middle kind of pulling the strings. It'll be very important that they're sharp on the ball and don't give anything easy to Georgetown.
Alba feeds it off. Perpa unable to get a clean touch off.
You'll notice this too. This is what Alba can do. He can be out wide one moment, then he can cut inside. A fantastic turn. He gets on that left. He finds Perpa. That's too much space. If you're Georgetown, if you're Brian Weiss, you cannot allow the left foot, the cultured, classy left foot of Luca Perpa to be 22 yards out with time and space to touch it in front of him and have it go. Georgetown has to be tighter on him, certainly.
Luca Perpa has been a machine. 5 goals in his last 7 matches. Here he is now with open space. Connor Alba. That one just wide.
Inches wide. Quick attack on the counter for Marquette. This is a really bright start for Marquette in the first couple of minutes. Alba again on the ball. You see the defender showing him to his right. He still finds a way to get in there. The ball falls fortuitously in the end to Sunason, who just tries to wrap his foot around it. There's not much power on it. Oh, excuse me, that's not Sunason, that's Josh Cohen tucking in. Josh Cohen, he goes for placement over power there, tries to wrap it around. and Nicopolitis was scrambling for that one.
Marquette controlling possession here in the opening minutes of this Big East Men's Soccer Championship game. And the implications here, Georgetown in the top 20 in the RPI. They feel good about their NCAA tournament hopes regardless of the result today. They want to help their seeding, but Marquette in a must-win mode.
Certainly, and for them, the tournament starts today. Yes, it's great to win a Big East championship. Yes, you want to lift a trophy. Yes, that's great for the program. But if they want to make it into the tournament today, candidly, honestly, this is their route. It's going to be tough tomorrow when the selection committee gets together at 1 o'clock to make those decisions. And we'll talk more about this, John, at halftime. But it's very important for Marquette to win today because they don't have the RPI, the likes of Georgetown, the likes of Creighton. So for them, this is their ticket to the tournament. The tournament starts for them today.
And that's exactly why Coach Bennett does not like calling this a final.
Because it's already started for them. It's a final for Georgetown. They're going to get into the tournament, most likely. But for Marquette, this is where it starts for them with their tournament. So I love that mentality. And you start to see some of the older guys, some of the seniors, Stephen Boom, we saw him a moment ago, taking the throw, getting on the ball, building to the other side. They're going to need to have a good game for Marquette.
These are the two hottest teams in BE football. There it is, the Golden Eagles. They are unbeaten in 5 of their last 6. And Coach Bennett talked about the fact that he did not know his team's identity early in conference play up until that point.
That's going to be important for them to get this win, and they're going to figure themselves out as they have this tournament.
Nicopolitis, the freshman.
This is a big opportunity for Giannis Nicopolitis from Athens, Greece. Very important as a freshman. Look, he's following in the footsteps of JT Marcinkowski, who's now with the San Jose Earthquakes. He was a freshman last year, had to fill those shoes. He's done remarkable in this season so far. He's done a very good job with 7 shutouts on the year so far.
Brian Weiss never saw Nicopolitis play. Nicopolitis was gauging interest, and he was looking for a college to go to, and it just worked out. He was sending out letters to different schools, and Georgetown happened to be interested, and it all worked out.
He must have come off of a good recommendation from somebody, Brian Weiss trusts, because he rolled with them as he has all season, and he has been very, very good this season.
Top of the box, and a bullet, that's right. Off the foot of Jacob Montez, the sophomore.
Well, Montez does a great job of finding that space in there to get inside. As it finds its way, Montez cuts in, tries to curl it around, much like we saw moments ago. Look, we've been raving about Nicopolitis at one end, Barasa on the other end, a very good goalkeeper himself. A moment ago, I said JC Marcinkowski was a freshman. He was a junior, as he's now with the San Jose Earthquakes. So, again, this was a big opportunity. Both goalkeepers, Barasa, the Big East goalkeeper of the year, Nicopolitis, somebody who certainly has the pedigree and the talent to be a contender for that next season and years beyond. It's a great showcase of 2 very good goalkeepers in today's matchup.
So if we can get out here, unless they give us all that room, all right? Well done.
Get to listen in to Coach Bennett for a moment there.
There he's just having a word with Boom, telling him to get forward if the opportunity presents itself. It's a hard foul. Big collision with Derek Dotson, holding the ball up well. Getting the worst end of that as the hold of play, but that's important. Something little like that from Dotson allows his team to get 20 yards further up the field. Now they can get everybody forward. Does a good job of finding it out of his feet. Then a nasty collision in the midfield. Sal Marone takes him down. Dotson earns the foul.
This is the Big East. There's no shortage of physicality.
Or love lost between these 2 teams. The game earlier in the season, Marquette, as Megan talked about in the pregame show, went down to 10 men, had to battle at Valley Fields, their home turf, just to get a result.
Marquette going with a 4-2-3-1. All played to purple. Nicopolitis will just vacuum it up.
Good overlapping run from Seegers. Looked off in the end, but that's very important for the left back of Marquette to get forward as often as he can.
The end of Georgetown's regular season was fascinating. They hosted St. John's at Cooper Field, which is the football field here at Georgetown, due to the amount of moisture at Shaw Field. And St. John's capitalized with the turf. They play on turf at Belson Stadium in Queens, and they won 1-0, which put Georgetown in a tough spot to clinch a bye in this tournament. What did the Hoyas do? They handed Creighton its first loss in Omaha this season in comeback fashion. Lochner, coming off a 2-goal performance, earns a corner.
Fantastic tackle in the end from Boom. Lochner gets one-on-one, tries to go for speed around the corner. Boom up to the task, does a wonderful job jockeying for position as he takes the touch, stays stride for stride for him, and at the last second leaves his feet. An important timely tackle to concede a corner. Interesting look there, going short. They're bringing out a second forward now. Currently, Marquette only has one defender out there, so if it's a 2-on-1, look for Georgetown to try to exploit that, or maybe pull a second defender over to then create less numbers in the box, which they feel gives them a better chance to go get on the end of it.
Kyle Zayats, the senior captain, scored the opening goal in Georgetown's 4-0 semifinal win over Providence. Header is in. Hoyas strike first. Brendan McDonough.
And just look what it means to the Hoyas. A fantastic ball in from Zayats. McDonough rises up above. The senior, playing in the third Big East final of his career, gives his team the start they could only dream of. What a finish. Towering header, gets up and above, his first goal of the season, and you couldn't ask for a better time. Just over 10 minutes into the Big East final here at home at Shaw Field. That's exactly what we talked about in the pregame. Your seniors who have been here, it was the key to the game, his third Big East final, and none other than Brendan McDonough gets above on a corner. A wonderful set piece from Zayats makes it 1-0.
Brian Weiss has said Brendan McDonough is the key to the wall. That 4-man back line for the Hoyas. How fitting is it that the senior at this time comes up big on the offensive end?
And especially 11 minutes in, if we're being honest, John, that's been dominated by Marquette, but the set piece, the second in a row, it's a wonderful ball in from Zayats. Barasa can't come out for it. McDonough rises up above, snaps the header down. It's a powerful header. Nobody's getting on the end of it. The Marquette defender on the goalpost can't reach it. Barasa's scrambling for it. It's a wonderful header, a dream start here at home. Now, what is Marquette's response to this? What do they do? Because for the first 10 minutes, they've looked very sharp. They've gotten their opportunities going forward. This was against the run of play a little bit. Now they find themselves down on the road 1-0. What is the response from Louis Bennett and his team?
The Golden Eagles had to rally at Creighton. They're just coming off a comeback performance, but this is a different monster today.
And in that matchup, Luka Purpa scored 2 minutes later after that goal. So it was a very quick response. So the heads didn't have very much time to hang. You didn't start to feel the added pressure of being down on the road. So look for Marquette to want to try to get a similar type response very quickly.
How do you balance that adjustment period with also trying not to do too much?
What's a good question, and Passarelli does a good job of winning the foul with Achara. It's something simple as getting on the ball, a quick start, going forward again, not letting 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, 10 minutes tick on before you get your next opportunity. They need to get Purpa on the ball, try to get Sunason involved a little bit more in those outside plays of Cone and Alba, get them forward and get them back to what they were doing that's so successful in the first opening minutes.
Brendan McDonough with his first goal of the season. Kyle Zayats, his 7th assist of the year, as here's Purpa. Ahern.
Good collective pressure. Boom on the ball now, but for Marquette, if they're going to go, Louis Bennett wants his team to go in numbers, in waves. They're going to high press at times. They're going to go through a lot through Alba and Cohen out wide, providing that pressure to try to get turnovers and trying to play higher up the field through that pressure.
Ball out wide now. Marquette has attacked down the left side. Wagner feeds it in right into the hands of Nicopolitis.
Yeah, safe hands from Nicopolitis. That cross got away from him in the end. There was a couple of numbers getting forward. I like seeing 3 and 4 players from Marquette getting in the box. That's good. They're just going to need to get that service a little bit sharper, more directed to their center forwards or the deep runs from the midfield position.
The Hoyas unbeaten in 8 of their last 9 matches up until this point. And now here's Achara. 6 goals on the season. Whistle on the Hoyas, and the official like a talking to.
Yeah, very good job. Alba turns in. Mark Catalytic will have a word with Zayats. Alba does a good job. He takes that touch across the path of Zayats, so Zayats either has to bring him down, draw the foul, which is now, I believe, his second one already. He's getting a talking to from the official, or he has to let him go. He chooses the foul, and now that's another one to add on. These things start to set up, and the referees are going to look for some sort of persistent infringement on the players who are getting fouled constantly, like Alba, like Purpa.
Achara racing for it. Physicality down the left side. Boy is looking for quick insurance.
Good switch.
It's really something, the opening 2 minutes of this one. Marquette, aggressive, pressing forward. Georgetown doesn't seem phased whatsoever. They've possessed it really ever since.
That's why it was the key to the game, relying on the championship experience. And it showed. They were able to weather the storm. They got their opportunity and took it.
Now perhaps another. Still in a danger spot. It's a strike that was blocked. Purpa.
Really good job at Georgetown. As they got in and around the top of the 18, they didn't panic. They didn't take the first option. They waited till an opportunity presented itself. Marquette had to weather that, got in front of it, blocked the shot. Now it goes out, and we get a throw in for Segrist.
The difference, Brendan McDonough. Goal in the 11th minute. Ball fed in, and it's a corner.
Much like we saw with Marquette at the other end, Georgetown got 3 players in the box as Montez went to cross that end. Again, this is where they scored in the 11th minute. You just mentioned, John, set pieces for them. Zayats on the ball, does a wonderful job with his right foot, picking out who he wants to. McDonough was the target last time. Let's see if they go back to him again.
Watch him.
Zayats a flare.
Why? You're trying to pick me there, Luca. Just take him off.
And the Hoyas just settle right back in, and we'll look to rev it up.
Great job of keeping possession by Zayats.
Here's Achara. So much speed. Louis Bennett said that was a concern. Zayats left of the cage.
So much speed, but so much strength. His ability to hold the ball up, it's complementative with Derek Dotson. He does a great job. And for Brian Weiss, what a plethora of options you have from Achara. And you start to see the 2 seed overall, as we mentioned earlier. They got the bye. They did so well against Providence here at home. 6-2-1 all season here when these two teams played earlier in the year, a 0-0 tie. And we talked about it earlier. 149 career wins here at Georgetown. Can't think of a better time to pick up 150 if you're Brian Weiss, can you, John?
You're absolutely right. And how about the recent success of this program, especially? Coach Weiss was talking to us about this senior class. They are the most decorated already in program history with 2 Big East titles.
And playing in a third today in 4 years. That's unheard of. I mean, it's fantastic. It speaks to the quality of players he's brought in and the leadership they presented in the moments when they're the biggest. He said to us, the game will present moments. Can you win those moments? McDonough did that in the 11th minute.
Moya's putting numbers forward again. Ball out wide. Lasered in. Marquette just trying to get it out of there. Lochner, the senior. And Achara just a little bit outside of his reach.